Good morning, you guys. It's Karen, and I'm here to answer your questions about, I don't know what this is. This hand movement is follow-on questions is what I was thinking. Your questions about Wegovy. I have been on Wegovy now for a year and a half. Wegovy is the same ingredient as Ozempic, but in Wegovy, it is created for weight loss, whereas Ozempic is created for diabetes. And in Wegovy, you can go to a higher dose than you can on Ozempic, but it's the same ingredient. But they're both semaglutide. So I am on Wegovy, have been on it for a year and a half, am still on it, got refused it, and then contacted them to ask, well, you know, is there not a maintenance dose or is there not a tapering dose or something like that? And they came back and said that I was fine to stay on it until I got to my target weight. My target weight is 10 stone, 10 stone something. And so I asked you what questions you had at this stage, and I put it on Instagram as well. And on Instagram, so one of the questions from Instagram was, how much weight have you lost? So I am now, let me do all the conversions and I'll tell you, I am now 70 kilograms. No, I'm 69 kilos actually. No, I'm 70. I'm 70 kilograms. I think I've gone down to 69 and back up to 70 kilos. There's been a couple of things lately. I put a lot on over Christmas. No, not a lot. I put a couple of pounds on over Christmas. And then I recently went to Cambridge to see my mum and ate a lot of food. So 70 kilos in stone. I am currently 11 stone 0, which is 70 kilos. I like to tell it give it you in all of the different formats because I know everybody counts it differently. So I'm 154 pound. When I started this, I think I was 86 kilos a year and a half ago. So that's 189 pounds, 13 stone 5. So my loss is 2 stone 5 or that's 16 kilograms, isn't it? 16 kilograms. Wow, that sounds a lot. 35 pounds I've lost, or 2 stone 5. So I feel like it's been really successful for me from that point of view. And, you know, even if I never get to my goal weight, which like I said is probably 10.5 stone, I would love to be, for me, a perfect size would be a size 12. So I've gone from being a size 18 on the bottom, or a 16/18 and a 14 on top, to being, I would say I'm a 14/16 on the bottom, because in the Marks and Spencer's leggings, you know, just their normal plain thermal leggings, I used to wear 16s and they're now very, very baggy. So I wear 14s in them. However, in River Island jeans, I've gone from an 18 to a 16. So it just depends on the shop, doesn't it? But just to give you some kind of reference, I don't think I've bought anything on the bottom for a while. On the top, I'm probably a 12 now. So I've gone from a 14 to a 12 on the top. I would be comfortable if I was a 12 on the bottom. That would be really comfortable for me. But I'm happier now, like standing up and looking at my profile. It's not perfect by any means. I've still got a tummy. And that is a lot from, I've got hyperinsulinemia, PCOS. You know, I hold all of my weight in my middle, which is what I was saying to my mum is why I feel so much better now. And I literally detested the image of myself before because everything was on my tummy. It was just all in the middle and nothing looked right. You know, no clothes I got looked right. If I wore something baggy on top, it just made me look huge. If I wore something tight, it showed that I had this great big tummy. I just never felt comfortable in any clothes. And I've got friends that are much bigger than that like a size 18, 20, but look more in proportion. I've always said this, you know. And so my problem was I just felt out of proportion. And now I feel a little bit more in proportion. I don't feel so bad. I feel like I can put a pair of jeans on, put a top that sits just sort of on the tummy area, and I'm not too bad, you know. So yeah, that's how much weight I've lost. Anyway, I'm going a bit too much into that. I would love to lose another half a stone or a stone. Instagram, are you continuing to lose weight? This one is a tricky one because I am continuing to lose weight when I make sensible food choices. And I think that the thing about this injection is it does chemically change your cravings. And so it does make it easier to refuse things, but it doesn't mean that you don't want those things. It just means you're not have no willpower to say no. That's what I feel like with not being on this injection. My sugar imbalances and all of that just go crazy. Even when I did keto did not cure me, as a lot of people believe it would. You know, it didn't cure my migraines and it didn't cure my sugar cravings. It's all I thought about. Maybe because I was using erythritol and making, you know, keto, I think they were called fat bombs or something like that. But I have a sugar craving, I have a carb craving, and I love food. You know, when people ask me what are my hobbies, I've got many hobbies. I love sewing, I love Watson and dogs. Dogs are my number one hobby, I guess. I love photo editing and photography. You'll see I've got a lot of photos on my Instagram. But my number one hobby is eating. You know, I still look forward to eating. What I don't do now that I used to do is I don't wake up and think, what am I having for breakfast? What am I having for lunch? What am I having for dinner? Or if I do, it's more in a case of, right, I need to cook dinner for later. I need to put the slow cooker on or something like that. It's not in that way of, that's what my whole day is about. And if I have like a bad meal, or I bake a cake and it doesn't turn out right because I'm still making cakes with sweeteners, it's not the end of the world for me. And I'm definitely more careful. And things like, I used to eat a big bag of Doritos to myself in one sitting at the weekend, and I would never do that anymore. That would probably last me 3 nights. And it's not because I'm full, it's just because, like I said, I am full, but I'm able to resist. So with the am I still losing weight? Yes, but slowly, because I keep on having these sort of, I guess you could say binges, but like I said, I just spent 3 days with my mum, which meant that I only see my mum once a year. This is my birth mother. I only see her once a year, and we go for coffee and have a cake. She buys cakes in for me. Then we go out for dinner in the evening. You know, we have lunch out. It's just constantly about food, and we both love food. And so that's a lot of what we bond over, you know, and what it's about. And like I said before, that was Christmas. I think I just went a bit mad. Oh, I know what it was. It was Christmas and New Year, because Kev wasn't working. And so Kev was home, and we went on a few walks with Watson. And so we had a few lunches out, things like that. You know, I just wasn't as sensible as I should. Okay, the next question is from YouTube, and it says, I'd like to know what your plan is once you stop the injections. Do you know what? That's such a good question. And it's a question that I ask myself. You know, well, what am I going to do when and if I get to my goal weight? Or if I think the fact that I'm not losing much, they might actually say, well, this is not working for you anymore anyway, so you need to stop it. And it's like, well, what is my plan? Because if I don't have a plan, if I don't figure something out, I am literally just going to put that weight back on. And the plan was always to try and create healthy habits. And I suppose I've done that, in that I'm now we drink a lot less alcohol, we have a lot less snacks at the weekend, or I might have a little bit of popcorn or something like that. So there are some healthy habits that I am now in the habit of doing, and hopefully that will continue on even if I stopped this. It would just be much harder to only have half a bag of crisps, or only have a small amount of popcorn, or whatever. It would be much harder. The other thing that would be hard is I only have my 3 meals a day. I don't tend to have snacks, apart from, like I said, at the weekend we'll have a little bit of a salty snack of some kind and a drink. I have 2 Bacardis and that's it, on like a Friday and a Saturday. In the week, I have my breakfast, my lunch and my dinner. Occasionally I have others. I'm not never having, because like I said, I've been occasionally cooking sugar-free things, and I'll have a little bit of that. But I'm not like starving and waiting for my lunch like I used to be. That is going to just come back when I'm not on this injection, which is why I don't understand why there isn't a maintenance dose of this drug. Because that is definitely a chemical thing, and it is, for me certainly, it's the hyperinsulinemia is part of it. The polycystic ovary causes carb cravings. You know, this keeps you fuller for longer, and so I'm having breakfast and I can wait until lunch and I can wait until dinner, even if it's later. So I don't know how I'm going to counteract that. I really don't. Again, one of my plans was to find lots of recipes that are healthy. I have been trying out lots of things, and I have found some things that I can eat that are snacky, that are both savoury, sweet, and actual meals and lunches and things like that. And I've definitely got more in my bag than I did before, you know, because I'm such a fussy eater. And so it's, a lot of the time it's like, right, well, what am I going to eat, you know? So I know I haven't really answered the question, what am I going to do? It depends when it stops, and it depends on it depends on my migraines as well, because if my migraines are more under control, then I'll be able to do more exercise. And that's a big plan of mine. But that's been a big plan of mine for a long time. You guys know I went to yoga. I'm not going to yoga anymore. I went to the gym a little bit. You know, I really need to do some exercise. And I do exercise when I don't have a migraine. But I'm only doing a small amount because I've kind of got out of the habit. I'm doing my yoga at home every day, but I need to do something that's kind of going to burn calories. And that was how I lost weight in the past, and that's how I kept my weight after I got married. You know, I lost a lot of weight, and that's how I kept it, because I went to the gym a lot. I knew that I liked food, and so I was like, I'm just going to exercise, and I went on the treadmill for 40 minutes every night, and then I'd go on the bike and do weights and whatnot to try and ensure that I could eat some goodies and not worry about it too much. So I guess that would be my plan, but it all depends on my migraine. Okay, another interesting question on YouTube is, I'm wondering if there is a link between weight loss and gallbladder problems. My daughter is on Mounjaro. We've tried calorie deficit. She's been on metformin too. Neither made a difference. Same for me. Some people are insulin resistant, which makes it harder to lose weight. So that's me. I'm basically insulin resistant. I've got hyperinsulinemia, which is very, very much like being insulin resistant, and you can be also insulin resistant, and I'm pretty sure I am. Makes it very hard to lose weight. It does. I appreciate your thoughts, Karen, if you've come across those issues. I have obviously come across the issue of being insulin resistant and etc. And that's basically why I'm on it. Is there a link between weight loss and gallbladder problems? I had a feeling there was, and I had a look, asked ChatGPT, obviously, but some of the information is some people taking Mounjaro have reported gallbladder-related issues, including gallstones and gallbladder inflammation. This is a known side effect of GLP-1 receptor agonists, a class of drugs that includes Mounjaro. So I think that Ozempic is also a GLP-1. I'm not sure because there's an extra one. Yes, it's a GLP-1. So it is the same with the one I'm on. It can also increase the risk of gallstones. So that's something to bear in mind if you have gallbladder issues. I did answer a couple of the questions. Somebody was asking, do you drink water through the day? How much does it help with your hunger? I have tried to drink 1 litre a day. I've got my cups through there. I've got one of those great big, I don't know what they're called, but a huge cup that keeps the water cold. And I go through at least 1 litre a day. Does it help with hunger? It does, yeah. And I think the trick is, because I don't like water, I drink flavoured water. And even then, I'm terrible at drinking it. I drink a lot of tea and coffee, decaffeinated in both cases, is I will think of food first. And it's having a drink and seeing if that works, which a lot of the time it does. You know, so definitely drinking water does help with hunger. That's the questions just now. If you have any others, please pop them on this video and I will do another video, of course, or I'll answer them if it's easy enough to just type. I'm not sure what to do going forward because, like I said, I feel like at some point the company will come back to me and say, like, you're not losing weight, you're not getting to your target weight, so you need to come off this because it's not working. Because that happened when I was on Saxenda. Saxenda stopped working for me, and Saxenda it's another glutide, but I can't remember the name of it. But the one that you inject daily, I was on that before I was on this. I've been doing these injections for nearly 3 years now, because I started on my 50th birthday. So I really wanted to be slimmer in my 50s. And yes, Saxenda stopped working. And so they just said, we can't give it to you anymore because you're not losing enough weight on it. You know, I was just either putting on a little bit of weight or staying the same. And so I suspect this company may come back to me and say, you're not anywhere near your target weight, so we're taking you off it. But like I said, if that happens, I feel like I'll put the weight back on, even slowly, because like I said, at the moment, I am creeping up and down. But I hope to be able to exercise more. I'm actually seeing my neurologist today, funny enough. I haven't seen him for over a year. So it'll be interesting to see what he says. I would like to try Mounjaro, which is supposedly more effective than, what am I on? Wegovy, because it not only has a GLP-1 agonist in it, it has another ingredient in it, if you like, that has further effects. But I'm a bit nervous about that one because I think I've said before, I don't know if it's one that you click. And I would like to take less than even the recommended dose at the beginning to make sure I don't have any crazy side effects. There was a nurse in Scotland that died from taking Mounjaro. We don't know any of the other details about that, but yeah, and if I wanted to go on Mounjaro, I would have had to do that when I was a higher weight, because now I wouldn't be able to go to any other company and get Mounjaro because I'm not overweight enough, if that makes sense. So I have to stick with this Wegovy and really try from my own end to accept the help I'm getting chemically and do exercise and whatnot. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I will keep you guys updated as always. I hope you guys are doing well. I think it's becoming a bit more understood now that these injections are a good thing. You know, they're going to reduce the amount of heart failures, heart attacks, obesity, you know, stress on the NHS, that kind of thing. And so I think overall it's a good thing. So yeah, let us know what your experiences are. I'd love to know. And also thank you to the person that left a comment about, it's a long comment, go and read it, talking about a low residue diet and a low carb diet and things that have helped her, which is really good and really interesting. So yeah, thank you very much for listening today, and I'll speak to you again soon.